Hey, what's up, guys? Jerry here with Sanctified Supply Co. Thanks for tuning in for another live stream Bible reading. We are continuing in the book of Ezekiel. We're going to pick back up in chapter 12. Before we start reading, let's open in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, Yah, Father, you're awesome. So thankful, Father, that we can talk to you anytime. I pray that we would not take that for granted, but we would take full advantage of the fact that we can speak to the Creator of heaven and earth anytime. Father, as we get into your word, I pray that you would give us eyes to see and ears to hear. Help us to understand your word, and may this time be edifying in your sight. May it be glorifying to you. Help me to read clearly so that the listeners can understand what your word is saying. We just want to honor you at this time, and we bless your name in the name of your son, Yeshua. Amen. All right, guys, thanks for being here. We're going to jump right in, and let me turn the comments on so I can see if you guys are saying anything. Chapter 12, I'm reading out of the Scriptures copy. Not sure if you could tell. I'm on my older laptop, so the camera quality is probably pretty bad, but hey, shalom, Richard Barber. Awesome, yeah. How's the weather over there? Probably raining, I would imagine. Sabbath Lounge, shalom. All right, we're just picking up right here in chapter 12, the book of Ezekiel. I'm reading out of the TS 2009 copy of the Scriptures, and we're just going to jump right in. And the word of, well, before I start, let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I can turn this microphone up or down if it's too loud or if it's not loud enough. If it's good, thumbs up in the chat and we'll just get going. Give a second to get a little feedback. Audio, thank you. Okay, cool. Yeah, tropical storm, strength winds, storm in sight. Exciting, yeah. Storms can be exciting and terrifying. Also faith building, so praise Yah, even in the storms. Palmetto Paratrooper, shalom, brother. Good to see you. So yeah, we're just picking up chapter 12 in the book of Ezekiel. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. Shalom, JS Genesis Designs. All right. And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, you are dwelling in the midst of a rebellious house. They have eyes to see, but they have not seen. They have ears to hear, but they have not heard. For they are a rebellious house. Therefore, Son of man, prepare your baggage for exile, and go into exile by day before their eyes. And you shall go from your place into exile to another place before their eyes. It could be that they see, though they are a rebellious house. And you shall bring out your baggage for exile before their eyes by day, and at evening go before their eyes, like those who go into exile. Dig through the wall before their eyes. Sorry, there's a fly bothering me. Before their eyes, it could be that they see, though they are a rebellious house, and you shall bring out your baggage for exile before their eyes by day, and at evening go before their eyes, like those who go into exile. I already read that. Verse 5, dig through the wall before their eyes, and you shall bring them out through it. Take them on your shoulders, and bring them out at dark before their eyes. Cover your face, so that you do not see the land, for I have made you a sign to the house of Israel. And so I did as I was commanded. I brought out my baggage for exile by day, and at evening I dug through the wall with my hand. I brought them out at dark, and I took them on my shoulder before their eyes. And in the morning, the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, did not the house of Israel, the rebellious house, say to you, what are you doing? Say to them, thus said the Master Yahuwah, this message is to the prince in Jerusalem and in all the house of Israel who are in their midst. Say, I am a sign to you. As I have done, so it is done to them. They are to go into exile, into captivity. And the prince who is in their midst is to bear his baggage on his shoulder at dark and go out. They are to dig through the wall and bring them out through it. He is to cover his face so that he does not see the land with his eyes. And I shall spread my net over him, and he shall be caught in my snare. And I shall bring him to Babel, the land of the Chasdim, and he shall not see it, and yet die there. And I shall scatter to every wind all who are around him to help him, and all his bands, and I shall draw out the sword after them. And they shall know that I am Yahuwah when I scatter them among the nations, and I shall disperse them throughout the lands. But I shall let a few of their men escape from the sword, from scarcity of food, and from pestilence, so that they recount all their abominations among the nations wherever they go. And they shall know that I am Yahuwah. And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, eat your bread with trembling and drink your water with fear and with anxiety. And you shall say to the people of the land, thus said the Master Yahuwah, to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the land of Israel, let them eat their bread with anxiety and drink their water with astonishment. For their land is emptied of all who are in it, because of the violence of all those who dwell in it. And the cities that are inhabited shall be laid waste, and the land shall become a wasteland. And you shall know that I am Yahuwah. And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, what is this proverb that you have Son of man, what is this proverb that you people have about the land of Israel? Which says, the days go by and every vision shall come to nothing. Therefore say to them, thus said the Master Yahuwah, I shall make this proverb to cease, so that they no longer use it as a proverb in Israel, but say to them, the days have drawn near, as well as the matter of every vision. For no longer is there to be any false vision or flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am Yahweh, I speak, and the word which I speak is done. It is no longer deferred, for in your days, O rebellious house, when I speak the word, I shall do it, declares the Master Yahweh. Again, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, see the house of Israel is saying, the vision that he is seeing is for many days from now, and he is prophesying of times far off. Therefore say to them, thus said the Master Yahweh, none of my words are deferred any longer. When I speak a word, it is done, declares the Master Yahweh. Chapter 13. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, prophesy again the prophets of Israel who prophesy, and say to those who prophesy out of their own heart, hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus said the Master Yahuwah, woe to the foolish prophets who are following their own spirit, without having had a vision. O Israel, your prophets have been like foxes among ruins. You have not gone up into the breaches, nor do you build a wall for the house of Israel to stand in battle on the day of Yahuwah. Their visions are false and their divinations a lie, saying, thus declares Yahuwah, when Yahuwah has not sent them, yet they expected the word to be confirmed. Have you not seen a false vision, and have you not spoken a divination of lies? You say, Yahweh declares, when I have not spoken. Therefore, thus said the Master Yahweh, because you have spoken falsehood and seen lies, therefore, see, I am against you, declares the Master Yahweh. My hand shall be against the prophets who see falsehood and who divine lies. They shall not be in the council of my people, nor be written in the record of the house of Israel. And they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And you shall know that I am the Master Yahuwah. Because they have led my people astray, saying peace, when there is no peace. And when one is building a wall, see, they are coating it with whitewash. Say to those who coat it with whitewash, it shall fall. There shall be flooding, and a stormy wind breaks it down. And see, the wall shall fall. Shall you not be asked, where is the coating with which you coated it? Therefore, thus said the Master Yahuwah, I shall break down with a stony wind in my wrath, and a flooding rain in my displeasure, and great hailstones in wrath to consume. And I shall throw down the wall you have coated with whitewash, and bring it down to the ground, and its foundation shall be uncovered, and it shall fall, and you shall be consumed in the midst of it. And you shall know that I am Yahweh. So I shall complete my wrath on the wall and on those coating it with whitewash, and say to you, the wall is no more, nor those whitewashing it. The prophets of Israel who are prophesying concerning Jerusalem, and who are seeing visions of peace for her when there is no peace, declares the Master Yahweh. And you, son of man, set your face against the daughters of your people, who are prophesying out of their own heart, and prophesying against them. And you shall say, this is what the Master Yahweh said, woe to the woman sewing cushions for all joints of the hand, and to those making veils for the heads of people of every size, to hunt beings. You hunt your beings of my people, while you keep alive your own beings. And you have profaned me among my people for handfuls of barley and for pieces of bread, to put to death beings that should not die, and to keep alive beings who should not live, by your lying to my people who listen to lies. Therefore, thus said the Master Yahuwah, see, I am against your cushions by which you hunt. Sorry. I'm against your cushions by which you hunt the beings there like birds. And I shall tear them from your arms, and shall let your beings go, and bring you hunt like birds. Hola, Antonio. The encouraging community. Shalom, Kermode Bear, Veronica, Mary. Good to see you guys. We're on verse 21 of chapter 13 in Ezekiel. And I shall tear off your veils, and shall deliver my people out of your hand. And they shall no longer be as prey in your hand. And you shall know that I am Yahuwah, because with falsehood you have made the heart of the righteous sad, whom I have not made sad, and you have strengthened the hands of the wrong, so that he does not turn from his evil way to keep him alive. Therefore you shall no longer see false visions, nor practice divination, and I shall deliver my people out of your hand, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah. Chapter 14. And some of the elders of Israel came to me and sat before me, and the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their hearts, and have put the stumbling block of their crookedness before their face. Should I let them inquire of me at all? Therefore speak to them, and you shall say to them, Thus said the Master Yahuwah, Every one of the house of Israel who sets up his idols in his heart, and puts the stumbling block of his crookedness before his face, and shall come to the prophet, I, Yahweh, shall answer him who comes according to his many idols, in order to lay hold of the house of Israel by their heart, for they have become estranged from me by their idols, all of them. Therefore say to the house of Israel, Thus said the Master Yahweh, Repent, and turn back from your idols, and turn back your faces from all your abominations. For any one of the house of Israel, or of the sojourners who sojourn in Israel, who separates himself from me, and sets up his idols in his heart, and puts the stumbling block of his crookedness before his face, and shall come to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me, I, Yahweh, shall answer him myself, and I shall set my face against that man, and make him a sign and a proverb, and I shall cut him off from the midst of my people. And you shall know that I am Yahweh. And if the prophet is deceived, and shall speak a word, I, Yahweh, have deceived that prophet, and shall stretch out my hand against him, and destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. And they shall bear their crookedness. The crookedness of the prophet is the same as the crookedness of the inquirer, so that the house of Israel no longer strays from me, nor be made unclean any more with all their transgressions. And they shall be my people, and I be their Elohim, declares the Master Yahuwah. And the word of Yahuwah came again to me, saying, Son of man, when a land sins against me to commit a trespass, and I shall stretch out my hand against it, and cut off its supply of bread, and send scarcity of food on it, and cut off man and beast from it, even though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Jacob, I don't know who's that. What's Iob? Even though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Iob, or Job maybe, were in it, they would deliver only themselves by the righteousness, declares the Master Yahweh. Anybody? Job. Okay, that's what I thought. If I cause an evil beast to pass through the land, and it shall bereave it, and it shall be a wasteland, so that no man passes through because of the beasts, even though these three men were in it, as I live, declares the Master Yahweh, they would deliver neither sons nor daughters; they alone would be delivered, but the land be a wasteland. Or if I bring a sword on that land, and I shall say, Sword, go through the land, and I shall cut off man and beast from it, even though these three men were in its midst, as I live, declares the Master Yahweh, they would deliver neither sons nor daughters, for they alone would be delivered. Or if I send a pestilence into that land, and I shall pour out my wrath on it in blood to cut off from it man and beast, even though Noah and Daniel and Job were in it, as I live, declares the Master Yahweh, they would deliver neither son nor daughter, they would deliver their own lives by their righteousness. For thus said the Master Yahuwah, how much more it shall be when I send my four evil judgments on Jerusalem, the sword, and scarcity of food, and evil beasts, and pestilence, to cut off man and beast from it. But see, there shall be left in it a remnant, who are brought out, both sons and daughters. See, they are coming out to you, and you shall see their ways and their deeds, and shall be comforted concerning the evil which I have brought upon Jerusalem, all that I have brought upon it. And they shall comfort you when you see their ways and their deeds, and you shall know that it was not for nothing that I have done whatever I did in it, declares the Master Yahweh. It's interesting that you'll know them by what they do, their ways and their deeds. Chapter 15. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, how is the vine tree better than any Son of man, how is the vine tree better than any tree, the vine branch that has been among the trees of the forest? Is wood taken from it to be made into any work? Do they take a peg from it to hang any vessel on? See, see into the fire, it shall be given for fuel. Both ends of it, both ends of it, the fire shall burn, and its middle shall be scorched. Is it fit for any work? See, when it was intact, it was not made for work. How much less when the fire has burned it and it is scorched, shall it still be used for work? Therefore, thus said the Master Yahweh, as the vine tree among the trees of the forest, which I have given to the fire for fuel, so I shall give up the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I shall set my face against them, and shall go out from fire, but fire consumes them. And you shall know that I am Yahuwah when I set my face against them, and I shall make the land a wasteland, because they committed trespass, declares the Master Yahuwah. Again, the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, make known to Jerusalem her abominations, and say, Thus said the Master Yahuwah to Jerusalem, Your origin and your birth are from the land of Canaan. Your father was an Amorite, and your mother a Hittite. As for your birth, on the day you were born, your navel cord was not cut, nor were you washed in the water for cleansing, and you were not rubbed with salt at all, nor wrapped in cloth at all. Is that a thing people used to do, rub babies in salt? That's a real question. It seems like they're talking about a literal birth scenario. Verse 5, chapter 16. No eye felt sorry for you to do any of these for you, to have compassion on you, but you were thrown out into the open field to the loathing of your life on the day you were born. Then I passed by you and saw you trampling down in your own blood, and I said to you, in your blood, live. And I said to you, in your blood, live. I have let you grow like a plant in the field, and you are grown and are great. And you are grown and are great, and you come in the finest ornaments. Beasts are formed, and your hair grew. Breasts were formed, your hair grew, and you were naked and bare. Again I passed by you and looked upon you, and saw that your time was the time of carnal love. And I spread the corner of my garment over you and covered your nakedness, and I swore an oath to you and entered into a covenant with you, and you became mine, declares the Master Yahuwah. And I washed you in water, and I washed off your blood, and I anointed you with oil, and I dressed you in embroidered work, and gave you sandals of leather, and I wrapped you in fine linen, and covered you with silk, and I adorned you with ornaments, and put bracelets on your wrists, and a chain on your neck, and I put a ring on your nose, and earrings in your ears, and a crown of adorning on your head. Thus you were adorned with gold and silver, and your dress was of fine linen, and silk, and embroidered cloth, and you ate fine flour, and honey, and oil, and you were exceedingly beautiful, and became fit for royalty. And your name went out among the nations because of your loveliness, and it was perfect. By my splendor which I had put on you, declares the Master Yahweh. But you trusted in your own loveliness, and whored because of your name, and poured out your whorings on everyone passing by who would have it. And you took some of your garments, and made multicolored high places for yourselves, and whored on them, which would not have come about, nor shall it be. And you took your splendid adornments of my gold and my silver that I gave you, and made for yourself images of a male and whored with them. And you took your embroidered garments and covered them, and you set my oil and my incense before them. And my food which I gave you, fine flour and oil and honey which I fed you, you set it before them as a sweet incense. And so it was, declares the Master Yahuwah. And you took your sons and your daughters, whom you bore to me, and these you slaughtered as food to them. Were your whorings a small matter, that you have slain my children, and gave them up to them by causing them to pass through the fire? And in all your abominations and whorings you did not remember the days of your youth, when you were naked and bare, trampled down in your blood. Then it came to be, after all your evil, woe, woe to you, declares the Master Yahuwah, that you also build an arched place for yourself and made a high place in every street for yourself. You built your high places in the head of every way, and made your loveliness to be loathed. And you parted your feet to everyone who passed by, and increased your whorings. And you whored with the sons of Mitzrayim, your neighbors, great of flesh, and you increased your whorings to provoke me. And see, I have stretched out my hand against you, and withdrew what is lawfully yours, and gave it up to the desire of those who hate you, the daughters of the Philistines, who are ashamed of your wicked way. And you whored with the sons of Ashur without being satisfied, and you whored with them, and still were not satisfied. And you increased your whorings as far as the land of traders, Kazdima. And even then you were not satisfied. How weak is your heart, declares the Master Yahuwah. Seeing you do all this, the deeds of a shameless whore. You built your arched place at the head of every way, and built your high place in every street. Yet you were unlike a whore. You scorned a harlot fee, the wife who commits adultery, who takes strangers instead of her husband. To all whores they give gifts, but you gave gifts to all your lovers, and bribed them to come to you from all around in your whorings. Thus you are different from other women in your whorings, because no one whores after you, and in you giving a harlot fee, while a harlot fee was not given to you. Thus you are different. Therefore, O whore, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus said the Master Yahweh, because your copper was poured out, and your nakedness uncovered, and your whorings with your lovers, and with the idols of your abominations, and because of the blood of your children which you gave to them. Therefore, see, I am gathering all your lovers, with whom you took pleasure, all those you loved, and all those you hated, and I shall gather them from all around against you, and shall uncover your nakedness to them, and they shall see all your nakedness. And I shall judge you with judgments of adulteress, of adulteresses and shedders of blood. And I shall bring on you the blood of wrath and jealousy, and I shall give you into their hand, and they shall throw your arched place down, and they shall break down your high places, and shall strip you of your garments, and they shall take your splendid ornaments, and leave you naked and bare. And they shall bring up an assembly for you, and they shall stone you with stones, and thrust you through with their swords, and burn your houses with fire, and execute judgments on you before the eyes of many women. And I shall make you stop whoring, and no longer give harlots fees. So I shall bring my wrath to rest upon you, and my jealousy shall turn away from you, and I shall be calm, and no longer be vexed, because you did not remember the days of your youth, but troubled me with all this to see I shall also bring your way on your own head, declares the Master Yahuwah. And shall I not do this? And shall I not do this thought for all your abominations? See all, see all, see all who use a proverb shall use this proverb against you, like mother, like daughter. You are your mother's daughter, who despises her husband and her children, and you are the sister of your sisters, who despised their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and your father an Amorite, and your elder sister a Shemaron. She and her daughters, who is dwelling to the north of you, and your younger sister, whom is dwelling to the south of you, is Sodom and her daughters. And have you not walked in their ways, and did according to their abominations? But in all your ways you soon became more corrupt than they. As I live, declares the Master Yahuwah, neither your sister Sodom nor her daughters have done as you and your daughters have done. See, this was the crookedness of your sister Sodom. She and her daughter had pride, sufficiency of bread, and unconcerned ease. And she did not help the poor and needy. And they were haughty and did abomination before me, and I took them away when I saw it. And Shemaron did not commit half of your sins, but you have increased your abominations more than they. And by all the abominations which they have done, you made your sister seem righteous. Made your sisters seem righteous. Verse 52. You also, who pleaded for your sisters, bear your own shame, because the sins which you committed were more abominable than theirs. They are more righteous than you. So be ashamed too, and bear your own shame, because you have made your sister seem righteous. And I shall turn back their captivity, and the captivity of Sodom and her daughters, and the captivity of Shemaron and her daughters, and the captivity of your captives with them, so that you bear your shame, and shall blush for all that you did when you comforted them. Excuse me. And your sisters, Sodom and her daughters, return to their former state, and Shomron and her daughters return to their former state, and you and your daughters return to your former state. Was not your sister Sodom a byword in your mouth in the days of your pride, before your evil was exposed, as the time of the reproach of the daughters of Amram, and all who were around her, and of the daughters of the Philistines, who are despising you everywhere? You shall bear your wickedness and your abomination, declares Yahweh. For thus said the Master Yahuwah, I shall deal with you as you have done, in that you have despised the oath by breaking the covenant. But I shall remember my covenant with you by the days of your youth, and I shall establish an everlasting covenant with you, and you shall remember your ways and be ashamed when you receive your older and your younger sisters, and I shall give them to you for daughters, though not by your own covenant. And I myself shall establish my covenant with you, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah, so that you remember, and you shall be ashamed, and never open your mouth any more because of your shame, when I pardon you for all you have done, declares the Master Yahuwah. Ooh, she done messed up. No, seriously though. It's pretty wicked, right? She gave her sons up in the fire, her children. So we just wrapped up chapter 16. I'm going to take a little break. My eyes are kind of starting to go blurry and having a hard time focusing on the page. Let me know. Are you guys following along in your own Bible? Some of you guys are probably not at home in front of a Bible. Generally, I like to have the scriptures up on the screen here, but I am using my old laptop and don't know how to do that on here. Oh, I think give me a second. Hopefully I don't exit out of here. I'm going to try to pull up the scriptures on here. See if it works. Oops. Sword is running. No. Aha. Okay, I got eSword opened up now. I'm gonna put this on the screen so that you guys then I'll be able to read from the screen and I won't have trouble seeing my Bible because the lighting in here is not the best. So if y'all want to bear with me just a minute, we'll pick up chapter 17. Please feel free to chat amongst yourself for just a moment. Ezekiel chapter 17. There we go. Chapter 17. Okay. Not sure. All right. So I'm going to go back over here, share my screen, present. We got going on here. Yoding. There you go. Gotta get the work done. Thanks guys for tuning in. I didn't really plan to do another video tonight of Bible reading, but you know what? I miss so many videos with you guys. I just wanted to. I think I'm just gonna do like a marathon every night until I get tired of doing it, and then we'll go to a less. I don't know. We'll do like a few days a week after that. Let's see. Do I got the scriptures on the screen now? Aha, I got scriptures on the screen. Does anybody know how to make this section go away so that I can have like full screen with that? I'm not sure how to do that. I'm gonna go back over here and see if I can get rid of. I don't know how to get rid of things. I only want certain sections on here. Just the Bible. Oh, here we go. Haha. Figured it out. Oops. Undid it. All right, we're good. Chapter 17. Box is on the left. Yeah, I'll figure out better as we go. Here we go. We'll just do the full screen. Y'all don't need to see my face. Boom. All right. Now, if you don't have, I know you don't have to read along, but if you see it with your eyes and hear it with your ears, that's double good. Double good. Yeah. Oh yeah. I need to make that. I need to make these words. Let's do this. It would be nice to have bigger font. Display settings. Oops. I think I just saw it and I didn't do it. Options, font settings. There we go. Yes. Now we're going to be able to increase the size of the font. I hope. There we go. Font size. We need let's go with 24. What do you think? Can you guys see that? I bet that's much better. Yeah, I like that. Let's go back over here. What do you think? We could go a little bigger. I think we'll go a little bit bigger. Probably wouldn't hurt anything. We'll go with 28. Good. All right. Back into it. Chapter 17. And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle and speak a parable to the house of Israel. And you shall say, Thus said the Master Yahuwah, the great eagle with large wings of long pinions, covered with feathers of various colors, came to Lebanon and took the top of the cedar. He plucked off the topmost of its young twigs and brought it to a land of traders. In a city of merchants he placed it. He also took some of the seed of the land and planted it in a field for seed, and took it by many waters, set it like a willow tree. So it grew and became a low, spreading vine. Its branches turned toward him, and its roots were under it. And it became a vine and brought forth branches and sent out shoots. And there was another great eagle with large wings and many feathers. And see, the vine bent its roots toward him and stretched its branches toward him to water it, away from the beds where it was planted. It was planted in a good field by many waters, to bring forth branches and to bear fruit, to be a splendid vine. Say, Thus said the Master Yahuwah, is it going to thrive? Is he not going to pull up its roots and cut off its fruit and let it wither? All of its sprouting leaves wither, without great power or many people to pluck it up by its roots. See, it is planted. Is it going to thrive? Would it not utterly wither when the east wind touches it? Wither in the beds where it grows? And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Please say to the rebellious house, Do you not know what these mean? Say, see, the kings of Babel went to Jerusalem and took its kings and heads and brought them with him to Babel. And he took one of the royal seed and made a covenant with him and put him under oath. And he took away the mighty of the land, so that the rain would be would be brought low and not lift itself up, but guard its covenant, that it might stand. But he rebelled against him by sending his messengers to Mitzrayim to give him horses and many people. Shall he thrive? Shall he escape who is doing these? And shall he break a covenant and still escape? As I live, declares the Master Yahuwah, in the place where the sovereign dwells, who set him up to reign, whose oath he despised and whose covenant he broke. With him in the midst of Babel he shall die. And Pharaoh with his great army and great company is not going to help him in battle, when they heap up a siege mound and build a wall to cut off many beings. And he despised the oath by breaking the covenant, and see, he has given his hand and has done all this. He is not going to escape. Therefore, thus said the Master Yahuwah, as I live, my oath which he has despised, and my covenant which he has broken, shall I not put it on his own head? And I shall spread my net over him, and he shall be taken in my snare. And I shall bring him to Babel, and enter into judgment with him there for the trespass which he committed against me. And all his fugitives and all his bands fall by the sword, and those who are left be scattered to every wind. And you shall know that I, Yahweh, have spoken. Thus said the Master Yahuwah, and I shall take of the top of the highest cedar and set it out, and I myself shall pluck off a tender one from the topmost of its young twigs, and plant it on a high and lofty mountain. On the mountain heights of Israel I plant it, and it shall bring forth branches and bear fruit and become a big cedar, and under it shall dwell birds of every sort. In the shadow of its branches they shall dwell. And all the trees of the field shall know that I, Yahuwah, have brought down the high tree and exalted the low tree, dried up the green tree and made the dry tree flourish. I, Yahuwah, have spoken and shall do it. Uh-oh. What did I do? Didn't want to do that. I'll try this. There we go. I'm just trying to figure out how to get to the next chapter. Oh, I think I figured it out. There we go, chapter 18. All right, chapter 18. I'm going to have to stop right there for today. Because I got to go to the bathroom, and it's a pretty good time to stop. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. I think we're just going to do this again tomorrow, maybe in the morning. I'll plan for doing at 7 p.m., but I might jump on here in the morning too. Yeah, praise Yah, JS Genesis. I agree. Kermode, good use of time, I'd say. Especially nowadays, you can put the little earbud in, and most places don't mind at all. Well, I'll probably do it I'll probably do this in the evening. I like reading in the evening more. I'm not awake yet to read out loud in the morning. Yeah, praise Yah. Thank you, Lost Light. Shalom, you guys. Love you all. Appreciate you tuning in and following along. Chapter 18. Catch you guys tomorrow. All right. Good night.